Hello, everybody. How are ya? Good morning. Let's see, we got the Facebook on. There we go. There we go. Welcome. What up, John? How we doing, sir? There we go. I'm good, my friend. I am good. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it this morning, but I am here, and so I got some time. Let's see what's going on with this. Oh wow, they can't go live for a year. Wow. Good morning. Hello. Hey, Cynthia. Good morning. How are you doing? Hope everything is going good. I hope you're getting through those. I know you are. Welcome everybody. Good morning. If this is your first time here in the channel, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. And, you know, it's pretty cool. Like, I get to help people with their weight loss, but specifically, let me do this actually. Let me get this AC going. It is too hot in here. What is going on? Need to get that air flowing. So, yeah, helping people navigate, I would say, the GLP-1 maze. It really is a maze, I think a lot of people are confused with their medications, how to take them, really how to approach the entire conversation about weight loss. I think there's a lot of confusing information out there for sure. And so, I want to get into all of that today. So do me a big favor, introduce yourself. Hey, Kim, welcome. Happy Gilmore, 10 milligrams, Mounjaro, 2.5 Retta. Is this okay? I mean, I don't know what you expect me to say. Like, some people stack the tirzepatide and the retatrutide. I mean, that's a large dose of Mounjaro to also stack retatrutide to it. I personally wouldn't do that. So, that's a lot of medication. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. There's no consensus out there. A lot of you guys aren't getting the help and support that you need to be able to figure out how to freaking approach this. Let's see. 50-year-old on Mounjaro, 7.5 milligrams. Been on it going to 20 months down. How do I know if I should stay, if I should go up in dose, or if I should stay? So the question is how do I know If I should stay on my dose. Good morning, Kimberly. How do I know if I should stay on my dose or if I should increase? You're definitely going to want to check out the video that I'm posting on YouTube tomorrow. Literally, the video that I'm posting tomorrow on YouTube is called When to Increase and When to Decrease Your Dose. Because it ultimately depends on where you're at in your journey and what are you trying to accomplish, right? So for me and our patients, we're trying to accomplish microdosing maintenance. Let me know in the comments if you know what that is, if you're also trying to achieve the same goal of microdosing maintenance. So, let's see if I can lower this. So what that ultimately means is you can maintain your weight loss on a fraction of a dose, on a micro dose. Good morning, Christina. That's what I'm talking about. In order to be able to do that, in order to be able to maintain your weight on a microdose, you have to kick ass during the weight loss journey. Like, you got to put in some work. You got to fix your metabolic health. Like, it's not just going to happen on its own. See, too many of you think that I'm just going to take the medication, lose the weight, and, that's it. That's the battle. Losing weight is not the battle. And I know it's frustrating because it's easy to feel like that's the battle, but losing weight is not the battle. Maintaining your weight loss for the rest of your life, that's the battle. So, we can talk about that and we can talk about the different pieces of that today. What does the weight loss stall have to do with it? Slow results, all of that. So do me a favor, introduce yourself. Let me know your name. Where are you watching from? And what does your journey look like so far? Drop it in the comments. Candace, what if I stay on 2.5 and just keep losing? Will that ruin everything hormonal wise? No, not at all. Staying at a dose that's working for you will not ruin anything. In fact, increasing the dose when you don't need to increase, that could ruin a lot. Yeah. So I find that using the lowest doses possible, the low dosing strategy is where it's at. That's where the results freaking are the best. Because the only way that a low dose is going to work for you is when you implement strategic lifestyle interventions. When you implement strategic lifestyle interventions, things that get to the root cause of your metabolic health, insulin resistance and inflammation being a big piece of that. Sonny, I've lost 45 pounds. Probably gonna stand up right now. I've lost 45 pounds. Let me get that down. I lift 6 days a week. I'm on 2.5 milligrams, tracked everything I ate. Fantastic, Sonny. So how's it going? How's it going on your low dose journey? I love that you're getting your butt to the gym every single day. That's freaking great. By the way, guys, if you just joined us here this morning, welcome. So my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation. We're going to get to those YouTube questions in a second, so bear with me. Basically, in a nutshell, we service all 50 states. I work with my medical practitioners. They prescribe, and we coach. So I have a coaching team, and we help our patients fix the underlying issues that are driving their obesity, driving their weight loss issues, driving their hormone issues. We use the peptides and the GLP-1s as a tool, and the combo of both, where we can set you up for microdosing maintenance in the future. So if you guys have any questions, if you're curious about the program, what it looks like, Christina, I'm going to get to that question. That's a great one. This phone number right here is actually the best number to reach out to my team, 229-441-3562. That number again is 229-441-3562. You guys can see the number there on YouTube. Just shoot them a text message there. Let them know that you want to get set up for a free consultation, and they can go over the programs, the pricing, and the whole shebang. Now, by the way, if you're not already following me on YouTube, you definitely need to get your butt over to YouTube. I put out 3 videos a week where I do a deep dive. Everything that I'm teaching you guys today, I put it on my YouTube. So just go to YouTube and type in Dr. Jones DC. Well, thank you, Candy. I'm very appreciative that the information is very helpful to you. I try my best to put out some gems. You know, everything that we teach patients, everything that we do, I try to put it all out there on YouTube to help you guys out. Okay, so Christina, let's get to your question. Do hormones play a role in the weight loss stall? So yes, they do play a role. Hormones are not the main culprit, believe it or not, behind the weight loss stall. But they're definitely one of the drivers. So when we talk about hormones, we got to figure out which hormones are we talking about. So women, you have to deal with a lot: testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. These are your sex hormones. Men, mostly testosterone comes into the equation, comes into the discussion. And these sex hormones dramatically impact your quality of life, but they don't really create weight loss stalls. And then you have thyroid. Thyroid is your master hormone, and you have to understand what's going on with your thyroid. If you have suboptimal thyroid function, that can contribute to not only a weight loss stall, but that can contribute to very slow results as well. And then you have the master hormone, insulin, which insulin, when insulin's elevated, it's constantly driving the weight loss. It's constantly fighting the weight loss. That's what insulin does. And so this is why we do comprehensive lab testing, so that we can get a better idea. What's your insulin look like? What's your insulin resistance look like? What does your inflammation look like? What do your hormones look like? It's very comprehensive testing. We do it all 50 states, guys. If you've never been tested for this and you want to get tested, shoot us a text message, because we can get you tested at Quest or LabCorp, and then one of our experts can go over those labs with you. We'll probably be able to see what's going on. We're probably going to be able to see what the issue is. So definitely go check that out. And like I said, make sure you're following me on YouTube. Type in Dr. Jones DC on YouTube. Now the primary, let's get to some of these questions on YouTube, because I've been neglecting my YouTube peeps. So let's do that. Robin, testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, isn't that the truth? Yeah. Healthy me, we talked about that. Brian again, no longer pre-diabetic, high cholesterol, elevated blood pressure. Brian, let's get into the flow. Get into the flow protocol, and it will help. Robin, good morning from Florida. The struggle is real. Menopause has not helped me. And there's a pinched nerve in my back. Took me years to finally figure out why I couldn't exercise. Yeah, so we deal with menopausal women, right? Like, that's like the primary patient demographic that we work with is menopausal women, perimenopausal, postmenopausal, but we also work with men too as well. Basically, we need to treat you like you almost have PCOS. Like, your inflammation is high, your insulin resistance is high. So we strategize with the lifestyle. We get you on some powerful fat mobilizers, and that's how we do a really good job helping menopausal women. Have I tried tesamorelin? Yeah, I have. Have you? So tesamorelin is the most potent growth hormone secretagogue. Yeah, it's a very potent growth hormone secretagogue, but you can also get good results with CJC, ipamorelin too as well. That's a good combo, not as strong as Tessa, but that one can still get you good results. Christina, you're dealing with that menopausal lull, huh? You know, yeah, maybe it might be time to get your hormones checked. I was using hers, but the shot of Sema didn't work anymore, just too expensive. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it does cost more money when you have to pay for these larger doses. People in our program end up utilizing lower doses, so they save a bunch of money long term. The reason why patients in our program can use low doses effectively is because we're implementing strategic lifestyle intervention. Because we're implementing strategic lifestyle interventions that also optimize background health, insulin, inflammation, they can get away with lower doses. Mindy on Facebook, I'm from Nevada. I've not started doing research yet. I have MS and a weight issue even after surgery. I've been watching your videos for a few weeks and was wondering if you work with autoimmune patients. Yes, Mindy, we do. We have a very powerful inflammation protocol for both autoimmune and non-autoimmune patients. Specifically, we look at lifestyle, but if you want the peptides, I call it the four big kahunas. They're very, very powerful for inflammation. BPC 157, KPV, low dose naltrexone, and the GLP-1. And then, of course, we're going to optimize your inflammation with lifestyle changes. How do you fix severe depression? I mean, that's tough. You know, the depression and anxiety, the three main things that I've seen, and we've helped a lot of people with these three main things for your depression. Mental health in general, it's getting your testosterone optimized, getting your thyroid optimized, reducing your inflammation, and increasing brain nutrition, specifically DHA fatty acids. Like, you mega dose the DHA. So you mega dose the DHA, you optimize your testosterone, you optimize your thyroid if it needs optimization, you reduce your inflammation, and you feed the brain. And you lower insulin and inflammation as well. That's the brain stack. And then we're not even talking about things to improve your mood. There are all sorts of things you can do, but that's the base. And we have a lot of success of helping women do that. Marka, what workouts can I do about the loose tummy skin? The workouts I do don't seem to help. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no workouts that are going to fix your loose skin. When you talk about loose skin around your arms and your legs and your butt, men around the chest, you can increase your muscle size. That's going to help a little bit. But for the most part, if you were very overweight and you have loose skin, there's unfortunately not a lot you can do. I know it sucks. This is why losing weight slowly to prevent the development of loose skin, because when you lose weight slower, sometimes that can help prevent the development of loose skin. So surgery at that point is your only option. Hey, Lori. So we do work with patients from Canada. If you're in Canada, we can coach you. So you can still do our coaching. We just can't prescribe to Canada. That's the only difference. Hey guys, I'm going to try something here on the TikTok. I'm going to exit my TikTok and I'm going to re-enter. Don't worry about it. YouTube or Facebook, you're good. But TikTok, if you're watching me right now, I'm going to exit and then restart. So I'll see you guys in a second. can sit-ups and planks help improve weight? Sure. I mean, any form of exercise is going to help you burn more calories. But the best type of workouts for lasting weight loss should be resistance training and working out those big muscles, your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, like working out the big muscles of your body. That's what you need to do. That's the best approach, because the more muscle mass you have on your body, the better shape you're in, the better your health is, the more mobile you are, the more active you can be, the less injured you'll get, the better your blood sugar will be, the better your inflammation will be controlled. Like, putting muscle mass on your body is extremely important. You'll literally live longer. It's harder to progress towards blood sugar issues, diabetes, pre-diabetes, because your muscles are like sponges for glucose. Welcome everybody. So let me know, are you guys currently on a GLP-1 weight loss journey? What does it currently look like for you? Thank you, John. I appreciate that. BPC 157 is so popular because it's so potent and it works. You know, it's such an effective peptide at reducing inflammation, both in the gut, in the body, in the brain. BPC 157 is amazing. But also for diabetes. BPC for diabetes, I mean, it could help with the inflammation. It could absolutely help with the inflammation. Usually diabetics have a lot of inflammation. But I'm thinking more fasting and fat mobilizers. Fernando, I started tirzepatide 2 milligrams last week. I'm fuller, but I'm still eating. That's okay. Fernando, the point is to start moving in the right direction. You have 2 ways to eat less, okay? There are 2 options for eating less, right here and then right here in the injection. So the injection helps you eat less, and then you help you eat less, if you know what I mean. So it's the combination of you mentally putting effort towards reducing your intake of food, and you also getting help from the medication. Like you said, you notice that you're more full. Okay, but the goal is not to stop eating, my friend. The goal is to not stop eating. The goal isn't to stop eating, I should say. The goal is to take the edge off of your cravings. Stop eating junk food most of the time. Start eating whole, nourishing, nutritious food. Meat. Fatty red meat. Get a lot of fatty red meat in. Francisco, I've 1 month on tirzepatide and I lost 16 pounds. That's awesome. That's it's a lot of weight loss. I like to see 1%. I guess 1% a week would be, in your case, 300 pounds would be about 3 pounds a week. So definitely you're losing a little faster. You're losing a little faster. I'd like to see, in the beginning, I think that's fine. I just don't want to see you lose muscle. Because if we lose muscle, that's a problem. Hello on Facebook. Wagovi, still thinking about food at night. What trick do you have to stop food noise at night? So I'm gonna say the same thing, right? Like, the medication decreases food noise, but it's not gonna eliminate it entirely. You're always going to have a little bit of hunger. You're always going to have a little bit of cravings. That's okay. The question is can you control it? I think a lot of people start these medications and then they get into this habit of thinking, well, when is the medication going to get rid of all of my hunger? When is the medication going to get rid of all of my chatter? But that's not what you should be shooting for. That's actually going to set you up for failure in the future. What you're shooting for is, I can finally do it. I can finally control my eating most of the time. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. Just do better. Just eat less junk food less often. That's it. And eat more protein. And then start lifting weights. That's the stable. And then if you've been under eating for a long time, then you need to do a reset, which is a separate conversation. If you're in a weight loss plateau right now, then we need to fix that. Is it okay to have a bit of chocolate here and there? Yeah, I have no problem with that. Now, I'd say some people have unique situations where that might be problematic. Okay, but for the majority of you, a little piece of chocolate here and there, I'm not too worried about that. Laura, 6 months, 1 milligram of Ozempic. I lost 34 and it's slowing down. Any tips to boost up the weight loss? Intermittent fasting, long form therapeutic fasting, reducing carbohydrate intake and increasing fat intake, optimizing your protein. How's your stress levels? How's your sleep? Are you getting about 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep? Are you managing your stress? Managing your stress doesn't mean get rid of your stress, because that's impossible. We all have stressful things happening, right? You can't turn on the TV without getting stressed out about all the craziness that's happening in the world. But are you tolerating the stress? Do you have a plan to do something about the stress, to make it less stressful for you? SK says, you and your team are amazing. Your videos have made me ask the VA about it. Now I'm on Zepbound. SK, my man. I'm happy the VA gave it to you. And thank you for your service. Jack Bulbs. Okay. And you want to put on muscle or gain weight. What is the best peptide? Yeah, I mean, your pectus situation isn't a concern to me at all. But the best way to put on muscle before you do any peptides, before you do any hormones, is to increase your protein intake, increase your hypertrophy training, 4 to 5 days a week, 45 minutes to an hour, solid resistance training, get the foundation, and then have your testosterone levels checked. If your testosterone levels are low, optimizing testosterone, and then, and only then, do you maybe consider optimizing your growth hormone levels, those IGF-1 levels, with like CJC, IPA, or TESA. How about 5-amino 1MQ, pill or injection? 5-amino is a pill, but I actually prefer Sloop 332, and we have a new peptide. We have a new peptide called OS 304. We just started offering this one. I don't want to butcher the name. Let's see. They used to call it ATX 304. I was reading about this one. The O304 activates the AMPK pathway. The AMPK pathway, which is essentially what happens when you're fasting, and it puts your body into a deeper fat burning state. So that one stacks really well with the Sloop. And then alongside your GLP-1 and lots of fasting. I'm here to learn because my daughter suffers from food noise. I didn't think it was a thing, but apparently it is. It is. It is. You know, food chatter is a medical condition. Now, I just want to say this. It's like it's really easy to fall victim to the diagnosis, so just be careful. Like, basically, now that we know food chatter is uncontrollable for some people, unfortunately, a lot of people, I think, are going to fall victim to the diagnosis. I have food chatter. I can't do anything about it, which is bullshit. And I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that with a lot of love, with somebody who has food chatter myself. Every single day, it's a new opportunity to fight. Every day, you get a new chance to fight your hunger. Every day, you get a new chance to battle it. Now, obviously, that's exhausting if you have to battle your food chatter every day. I get that. But guess what? It's you plus GLP-1 against food chatter. It's you plus GLP-1 against food chatter. Don't make this battle GLP-1 versus food chatter. Don't do that. I know that sounds appealing, and I know that sounds awesome, but it should be you plus GLP-1. Then you can beat the crap out of your food chatter. That's how you should approach this. That's how you're going to be successful long term. Jennifer, you're late to the party. You missed everything, Jennifer. You missed the entire thing. I just went over the most awesome thing ever and you missed it. I'm never going to say it again now. What do you recommend of Mounjaro? Gives me panic attacks. What can I do? Yeah, I would talk to your doctor about that, your prescriber. I haven't seen really any patients of ours get any panic attacks, so I wonder which one you're on, what dose you're taking. This is why we're big fans of the low dosing strategy. Moderators, please get rid of Tom. I don't know what he's doing. Moderators on YouTube, I think we taught you how to ban somebody. Yanni, so food noise wouldn't be a reason to increase dose, correct? Well, uncontrollable food noise that you couldn't control. See, that's the thing. That's the strategy. If the food noise is becoming unbearable and you can't control the food noise, that's when you should lean on the medication. But guess what? You can optimize the medication. You can improve the effectiveness of the medication by doing strategic lifestyle interventions that also improve insulin levels. Fasting, ketogenic dieting, and resistance training. Those are the best strategies for optimizing insulin levels. Do you do the all natural way? Lynn, if by natural you mean naturally injecting myself with naturally occurring molecules in a natural needle, I don't know how to finish that. So, I don't know. Do you consider injecting GLP-1s natural? I mean, we can have that conversation. How much do you consider low dose? So low dose is a unique thing for you as an individual. That's why I brought that up, Lack. That's why I brought it up, because people think GLP-1s are a pure pharmaceutical agent, but GLP-1s actually occur in the body. So I was being facetious and funny and serious all at the same time. Some of you guys can tell, some of you guys can't. But there's a conversation to be had about that. I'll give you guys my quick definition of GLP-1 medications. They are quasi peptide drugs. They're not, it's not fair to call them pure peptides because they've been modified to last significantly longer than naturally occurring GLP-1 molecules in your body. So they're modified severely, and that's why they have side effects. But it wouldn't be fair to call them pure pharmaceutical agents. Pharmaceutical agents, they don't have any that get to the root cause health issues like GLP-1s do. GLP-1s get to the root cause of metabolic health, literally, insulin resistance, inflammation. So they're massive tools. Hello, Jamie. I'm new to your team for inflammation. Dr. Jones recommended resveratrol, curcumazorb. Yes, I would stack both the curcumazorb and the resveratrol. That is a very synergistic anti-inflammatory stack. What's up, Ezekiel? If you are running into issues with musculoskeletal issues, back pain, joint issues, we actually have some specials that we're going to be doing that are coming up here, guys, for Black Friday and Thanksgiving. We have some specials on Wolverine and I think Glow. I think it's our Glow peptides and our Wolverine peptides. So definitely check that out if you guys are interested. If you want to, you've been thinking about doing this, well, we do have some promotions that we're running that day. Yeah, if you guys heard, they are lowering the prices. They are going to be dropping prices for GLP-1 medications. Hallelujah. Your boy Trump is doing something right. Is there a peptide I can add to my weight loss journey? Tonya, yes. So my favorite peptide to stack with your GLP-1 medication, without a doubt, is Sloop 332 or AOD 9604. So Sloop 332 AOD 9604 helps your body to mobilize its fat stores. So you're mobilizing your fat so that we can get you into some therapeutic fasting windows. So if we get you into some therapeutic fasting windows, your body is mobilizing fat because of the peptides. You're eating less because of the GLP-1. Your inflammation and insulin are lowering, so we're also releasing fat. So your body doesn't get stressed out and your body can tolerate long therapeutic fasting windows. Hey, Tina, welcome. And good morning or good afternoon to you in London, England. I don't know if you're in London. I guess you're in England. Does this include semaglutide, tirzepatide, Ruth? Yes, we are talking about semaglutide. We are talking about tirzepatide. These are my favorite GLP-1 stacks. But I prefer tirzepatide. The first one I said was Sloop 332. Sloop 332 and AOD 9604 are powerful fat mobilizing peptides. Eli Lilly has enormous weight loss versions of Cagri. The amylin analogs are going to be huge. I mean, yeah, the amylin analogs are potent. They really are. Yeah, that's pretty strange that you had flare-ups, Carrie, although there's always possibilities of, unique reactions. So we have, for patients like you that have, autoimmune issues, we recommend a different stack, low dose naltrexone, BPC 157, and KPV. It's not that I don't like retatrutide. I just think that tirzepatide is the better play. I think tirzepatide is the better play. Retatrutide is not going to solve all your problems. Not if you have metabolic dysfunction, not if you're insulin resistant, not if you're very inflamed. Amy, I didn't get much from the AOD troche. Did you do it right? So AOD on its own is not going to be anything magical at all. The GLP-1 is magical. If you add the GLP-1, guess what? You start losing weight pretty much without changing anything. AOD, if you add it to your program, it does not magically cause weight loss unless you are optimized already. So what does that mean? You have to already be in a calorie deficit. You already have to be basically primed to lose weight. So you can't have a bunch of elevated insulin levels. So you start fasting, and then the AOD works synergistically with the fasting, and that's where AOD really shines. Is it good to combine tirzepatide and tesamorelin? You can. We have patients that do that. Tesamorelin is a great stack. I prefer starting your journey off with more of a fat mobilizing stack like AOD or Sloop 332. Hello, Sadie. How are you? I'm on RAM. I'm on 2.5 milligrams in the second week, and food noise has returned. Be patient with it, my friend. Add the fasting, add the nutritional changes, eat less processed foods, go start working out and go lift some heavy weights, and then let me know how it goes. Are these better than tesamorelin? Is what better than tesamorelin? We're talking about GLP-1s. Oh, if you're talking about Sloop and AOD, they're different. They're not growth hormone secretagogues. They are fat mobilizing agents. Would lowering tirzepatide help reduce my hypoglycemia during fasting? Potentially, Anthony. This is why medical supervision is so important. Because we need to figure out why your blood sugar is dropping low to begin with. Usually with our patients, we're adding more fiber, we're adding some ketones, some exogenous ketone products to help mitigate the low blood sugar issues. How would I dose Sloop 332? So Sloop 332 is an agent that is called an exercise mimetic. It's an exercise mimetic. So it actually works down into the mitochondria, and at the level of the mitochondria, it's increasing the amount of calories you burn at rest. It's increasing the conversion, the whole electron transport chain, which is the energy producing factory in our body. So it also helps mobilize fat stores as well. Yes, Brandy, there is a timeline involved with that, but yes. I stop eating at 6 and I start eating at 10. Is that a good fasting window? Yeah, that is. That's an 8-hour eating window. So a daily 8-hour eating window is a great start. Intermittent fasting, eating within an 8-hour window is a really good start. Now, are you going to fix all your problems with intermittent fasting? No, you're not. Intermittent fasting is just a start down a pathway of healing. Most of you're going to need some therapeutic long fasting. You're going to need some therapeutic flow fasting to really fix the metabolic issues that you've developed from being you, from being you and living that life, But I mean, it is what it is, I'm not saying you did something wrong. We live in a society where we were told to eat carbohydrates every single day of our life since we were kids. Eat a bunch of meals, snack on garbage carbohydrates all the time. Heda, is it possible to stack Retta and Mot-C? I know some people are doing that. It's not my personal recommendation. Our doctors are working with people on an individual basis. What does the long therapeutic fasting look like? So our patients, depending on where they're at under medical supervision, sometimes we go to weekly 48-hour windows. because we are fixing situations, like, without a doubt. In the 70s, 80s, and 90s, it was all about that cereal breakfast. It was all about the cereal industry. They made a killing, slowly creating diabetes and obesity. Well, at least contributing to it. Can your skin ache when taking tirzepatide and retatrutide? Yeah, there's a weird condition called allodynia, which is like a weird skin sensation that some people are getting from the GLP-1. So yes, I have seen that. Cynthia Diamond, you are a doll. Thank you so much. What do I think about creatine and L-glutamine? I think creatine is phenomenal. Creatine is going to help your body essentially produce energy better. Creatine can help you build muscle mass. Creatine can help your strength in the gym. It can help prevent cognitive decline. Hello, Dharma. Good to see you. Glutamine is a amino acid that plays a lot of roles in gut healing. Also, glutamine can reduce sugar cravings too as well, which is pretty interesting. So L-carnitine is like a shuttling agent to help mobilize the fat around. Just upped my Reta to 5. Resting heart rate up. Yeah, I mean, be careful with that. Retatrutide is activating the glucagon pathway, which raises blood sugar, which raises your stress. I mean, glucagon is an active hormone that your body increases when you're fasting. So, retatrutide, we have a lot to learn about that compound. I don't personally recommend experimenting with it when you don't need to. You don't need to. Everybody's excited to try Reta. If you're going to try it, I would recommend lower doses. But everybody's thinking that it's going to solve their problems. If you're not losing weight on tirzepatide, you're not going to lose weight on retatrutide most likely. Edie Love, what makes your company better than my primary? I don't know anything about your primary. What do you want me to say? We're better than your primary? I have no idea. But your primary care is your primary care. We're not your primary care. So I wouldn't compare us to your primary care. I doubt your primary care does what we do. And we do not do what your primary care does. So there you go. Is it safe to take Zepbound and multivitamins along CoQ10? Sure. Absolutely. What's the longest that you fasted for 22 hours? That's fantastic. That's a great start. That is a great start. Do I take Lipo-C, any lipotropic shots, Stephanie? No, I don't. The lipotropic shots I think are overhyped for sure. They're overhyped. Are they bad? No. Are they going to cause massive results? No. You know what I mean? Like they're a little overhyped, but they're cool. I think for some people they can actually make a difference. What do I think about the Wolverine cycle with retatrutide? I mean, the Wolverine's the Wolverine. Wolverine is all about the healing in the body, the BPC 157, the TB 500. And then the retatrutide is retatrutide. They're different. Retatrutide is a GLP-1, but I always recommend tirzepatide compared to retatrutide. Hey, JP, welcome. Am I against GLP-1s? Not at all. I am your biggest fan on using GLP-1 medications properly. Guys, if you just joined us here, welcome. So my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics, service across the nation, all 50 states. I work with my medical practitioners. They prescribe and I coach. So we help people battle weight loss stalls, slow GLP-1 results. We set you up for success long term, because my goal for you guys, if you're working with me, is to get you towards microdosing maintenance. Retatrutide is not strong, because my definition of strong would be something that actually works for more people. And I've clinically seen a lot of people struggle with retatrutide and go back to tirzepatide. For some people, retatrutide's great. So I don't have a problem with retatrutide if it's working for you already, then that's fine. I have a problem with people starting and going straight to retatrutide and skipping tirzepatide because they think retatrutide is inherently better. It's inherently more dangerous because we don't know enough about it. Yes, we work with patients in Miami. Guys, we service all 50 states. So if you guys want to learn more about our coaching programs, if you want to work with me personally, if you want to work underneath my coaches, because we have multiple programs, this phone number right here, 229-441-3562. That number again, you can see me on YouTube, is 229-441-3562. You shoot us a text message. Be sure to include your name and your email. Get set up for a free consultation with my experts. Yes, we switch people from tirzepatide to from retatrutide back to tirzepatide all the time. And by the way, guys, if you enjoy this kind of content, if you find like the information helpful and you like learning, like teach you guys how to break your stalls, how to do your dosing properly, make sure you're following me on YouTube. Go to YouTube right now and type in Dr. Jones DC on YouTube. You will, trust me, if you want to learn, that's where you go, because we put out 3 videos every single week on YouTube where I do comprehensive deep dives into all the things that you see me talk about, but without all the, the live breaks and whatnot. So definitely make sure you turn on that notification, turn on that bell. Tomorrow's video that we're posting on YouTube is when to increase your dose, when to decrease your dose. Yesterday, I posted a food video about protein, showing you guys the different types of proteins and how it affects your GLP-1 journey. Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate that. I have joint pain after taking 7.5 of Mounjaro. Super weird. I would talk to your prescriber. That's very uncommon that I see people, they usually get pain relief. Is juicing ideal when you're on GLP-1s? Generally, I'm not a big juicer. I'm not a big juicing fan. If you are going to juice, I would stay away from anything that has sugar in it. Cucumbers, celery, I think those are great. I mean, I would love a glass of cucumber and celery juiced with some little extra Celtic salt. That's delicious, right? But that's it. I don't juice anything else. Can there be some extreme health benefits? There absolutely can, but it's kind of a trade-off. Like, I don't think you're solving any problems. Your problem right now, if you're overweight and you're struggling to lose weight, your problem is insulin. And the juices are not helping your insulin. The juices are not helping your insulin. Original Starbucks. TERS has been amazing. I added AOD during a stall. Amazing stack. BPC has been awesome. Crushing it in the gym. Zero soreness. Down 30 pounds. The original Starbucks. That's what I like to hear, my friend. That is freaking awesome. I'm a diabetic on Ozempic, 0.25, but sometimes I get low blood sugar. Is that normal? You need to talk to your doctor, because if you're on other blood sugar lowering medications, somebody needs to be monitoring you to make sure, especially if you're going to start fasting, you got to be careful. You got to be safe with this. Tonya, I've been watching you since I started taking GLP-1s 3 months ago. My doctor just never gave me any full information. He said, just go on the shot. You followed me in my journey. Thank you so much. I'm glad that that's been helpful. Kieran says, I watch your YouTubes every day. Aw, thank you. That means a lot to me. I try to, by the way, in case you guys are curious, you know what's in the pipeline. So, probably within the next couple months here, you're going to see more and more food videos, specifically GLP-1 food videos, cooking strategies, cooking for singles, what to order at restaurants, how to prepare food at home. You're definitely going to see more of those types of videos because I feel like that's a huge problem that I notice. Yeah, I posted a video about the Trump situation and the GLP-1 pricing, so that's fantastic. I'm super pumped. I put out 3 videos a week on YouTube, and then we put out a couple shorts every day, but Cynthia, for sure. I think I think a lot of people are scared to coach. They're scared to get a coach. They're scared to get a mentor. What is my YouTube channel, Rika? If you go to YouTube and you type in Dr. Jones DC, you will find me on YouTube. You're welcome. What is your take on splitting doses for tirzepatide since the hunger kicks in before the next shot? Yeah, if that helps, I have no problem at all. I have no problem at all with splitting your dose. If it helps, I tend to like the idea of a bigger hit. You get a big appetite suppression for a couple days, and then your appetite comes back so that you can eat a lot of food, because after the appetite suppression peaks, I want you doing a very big long fast. So I want you to have maximal appetite suppression, and then I want the appetite to come back, and then you're eating a lot of food over 5 days, and then you repeat the cycle every single week. That is the flow protocol. That is why we're getting such good results and we're fixing underlying metabolic health issues. Matt, does it matter if you take magnesium glycinate in the evening instead? Magnesium glycinate is good both in the morning or the evening, Matt, but I prefer it in the morning because I want you taking threonate in the evening, because threonate can help your sleep. Is it the end of the world? No, but that's just what I've noticed tends to be better for more people. Wilma, struggling with stall after 34 pounds on Zepbound, 7.5 for 23 weeks. Dharma, what did you want me to repeat? I totally forgot. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Guys, I have about 5 more minutes, so I can just keep rapid firing these questions here. So basically, if you were losing weight and you stop losing weight, your metabolism slows down, you hit a stall, it's because you're in starvation mode. So what we do to help our patients is a reverse diet or a metabolic reset. And there's a whole conversation about that. I have plenty of videos where I talk about that. The part about food intake days. The food intake. Oh, you mean I was talking about your single injection per week. I was like, what is she referring to? So the reason why I don't prefer split dosing, because I want you to have more appetite suppression early on in the week so that you can do a really long fast. And then for some people, the appetite comes back a little bit, and that's better because I want you to eat a full day's worth of food. That's the cycle every single week. One long therapeutic fast. That's why the title of my book is called Fast, Feast, and Flourish, because there needs to be a cycling. There needs to be a cycle of higher calorie periods, higher calorie intake periods, followed by fasting. Over the weekend, I'm usually live around this time. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You guys can catch me live, usually around this time. I would say the next 2 weeks, yes, I'm going to be live in the mornings. Over the next 2 weeks, not in the evenings. I'll be live in the mornings the next 2 weeks. Do you think it takes... Thank you, Don. I appreciate the support, my man. Kieran, I go live not every day, but I go live a decent amount in the mornings. I'm probably going to stick with a consistent every morning, probably for the next week. That'll be my target this next week, is I'll go every morning. Did you just see me on CNN? No, I was not on CNN. Not that I know of. Oh. Thoughts on compounded GLP-1? That's what we're talking about. Tirzepatide is the bomb. Tirzepatide is the base GLP-1. So guys, let me give you before I hop off, let me give you the cheat code. Exactly what we do with most patients, not everybody, but we are stacking the tirzepatide because it reduces inflammation, it reduces insulin levels, it obviously makes you eat less. And then you stack it with a fat mobilizing agent like an AOD 9604 or a Sloop 332. And then you get the patient into some therapeutic fasting windows. Lots of therapeutic fasting, but you cycle higher calorie eating around the fasting. See, if you ever did fasting before and you plateaued because you weren't eating enough food around the fasting windows. And then you have to start lifting weights. You have to start lifting heavy weights. Resistance training. Thank you, Tech Girl. I'm glad you found me. Guys, if you haven't found me before I hop off, go to YouTube right now and type in Dr. Jones DC. If you guys like this kind of information, if you're not able to catch me live, I mean, even if you do catch me live, I would recommend go to YouTube either way. Dr. Jones DC. We put out 3 videos a week. But yeah, the lifestyle is therapeutic fasting, heavy resistance training with solid foundation nutritional wise. I'm a big fan of like a keto, carnivore, animal-based approach. Gloria, believe it or not, I'm a fan of nicotine used infrequently. We offer these nicotine troches. I use them whenever I film my long YouTube videos. I'm not gonna lie, I do a milligram of troche. 1 or 2 milligrams of nicotine before I film a bunch of YouTube videos. It's one of I love the mental lift that I get from it. It's pretty awesome. Thank you, Cynthia. I'll see you in about an hour, Cynthia. All right, guys. I'll see everybody later, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Bye, everybody. Oh, by the way, this number right here, 229-441-3562 is the best way to reach out to my team. I forgot to say that. That's like the way to reach out to my clinic. So if you guys want to go beyond just YouTube, if you want to work with me, my clinicians, my coaches, This number right here is the best way to reach out to my team, 229-441-3562. We do have some specials right now incoming, I think because Black Friday is around the corner. You guys know the drill. I think we have specials on Wolverine and Glow or Clo. I can't remember, one of those. So be sure to check those out. I'll put out some videos about GHK Copper next week as well. Take care, everybody.